Antonio Brown situation. I said, you know what? Everybody got what they deserved here. That they did win a Super Bowl. You were playing with fire. He's burnt down buildings in 3 other stops here, and he's doing the same thing in Tampa Bay. Now, I have to look at both sides. As much as I love Bruce Arians, I think Bruce is being disingenuous when he says he didn't know about Antonio Brown's ankle injury. The guy was limited in practice, didn't practice a couple of days. He was questionable for the game. And I don't know if he checked out of that game. There was a moment where I thought Brady walking down the bench, and you could see where Antonio Brown had his arms up on the bench, and it looked like he had basically checked out of the game before he kind of lit the fuse here. So I don't know how this plays out. He said that he was told that, hey, you got to get shot up with a dangerous drug here. I don't think you spend a decade in the NFL and you don't know about Toradol. But is Antonio, do you think he has a case here against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he can get paid, get released, and maybe play with somebody else?
Well, that's certainly what he's trying to do. I got a bunch of thoughts on this, Dan. First of all, one of his main problems is Antonio Brown's lost the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there have been so many things over the last 3 years that even with these text messages he's sending out, even if he's 100% right in this situation, I think he'll have a tough time in the court of public opinion because of a couple of different things. Number one, everything that's happened up until this point, but also, Dan, I've seen guys with bad ankles. I've seen guys with ankle sprains, whatever. They're not exiting like he exited that game. They're not jumping up and down in the end zone. Like if you have an ankle injury, that ankle's bothering you and you're limping on it. He didn't show any limp or anything in the end zone, which I think also hurts his cause. And here's the last thing, which I think is the most important. I played for 5 teams, Dan. There are some guys who don't play or try not to play because of injury, but it's really more mental than physical, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, they have an injury, but what's preventing them from actually going out there is what they're thinking in their head about the injury, as opposed to the physical malady itself. I had a guy one time, I'm not going to embarrass him, but this guy was a high pick. He would do whatever it took to try to not play in the game. I mean, there were times where I can remember the head coach flipping out on the orthopedic surgeon because all of a sudden the guy wasn't going to play that day, and he was supposed to. He'd practiced that week. I remember one time we were playing in San Francisco, and they did fireworks before the game. And we're all standing there, and it's foggy. It was Candlestick. There's a little bit of fog there. All of a sudden, we're about to go out there, Dan, for the first series. And this same guy is like, oh, my eyes, the fireworks got in my eyes. Like, I can't play. Like, I swear to God.
Oh my
God. The trainers gave him his helmet. They helped him off the bench, and they're like, you're fine. Go out there. You're fine. Like, they pushed him out there. Like, he did not want to. I mean, we were laughing, but that was him.
Wow.
So I think how we can balance Arians' side and Antonio Brown's side is that he did have an ankle issue. By the way, everybody playing at this point in the season has an issue. Everybody has at least one thing bothering them. I can assure you. Otherwise, what have you been doing the whole time? And I think Arians thought it was Antonio Brown mentally not going back out there as opposed to because of the ankle. And I think with Antonio Brown's history, I can totally understand why Arians felt that way.
Talking to Ross Tucker, the host of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. He's going to take part in the national championship game between Montana State and North Dakota State. I love that. And that will be noon on Saturday on Westwood One. He's got the Chargers-Raiders game on Sunday night also on Westwood One. Paulie, how many times did Ross Tucker play in San Francisco?
Well, you'd think a lot with the long career. I got you as one road game in San Francisco, Ross, in 2004 with the Buffalo Bills.
I was on the team for Washington in 2002 when we played out there as well, but I think that was the first game of my career I was inactive. However, you don't know whether or not that was the Firework game or not. So the I team,
can we guess,
on it.
Okay, can we guess the player who didn't want to play because he had smoke in his eyes?
Look, you could probably Google it. I don't know if that story's ever been told, but it was hilarious.
Paulie, can you guess? Is the I team on this? The player.
Is it a good player, a really good player, or a role player?
But he was a high pick. Ross said he was a high draft pick.
There's names like Takeo Spikes.
No, it's a wide receiver.
Oh.
A wide receiver. Is that
right?
right?
No, I didn't say it was a wide receiver.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Okay.
So it's not Eric Moltz.
You guys are so good at this. You guys always try to get. I don't want to embarrass the guy. He hasn't played for a while. He was a nice guy. He was really into video games. I'm sure he's got a great life now. I don't want to embarrass him any further. I probably talked about him on other shows before.
What does playing video games have to do with this? He's a good guy. He plays video games.
He was more intense about playing video games in the players' lounge than he was on the field, and that is a fact.
Okay.
He got more animated playing Halo in the players' lounge than he ever did on the field ever.
Oh, that's so good. I like how you don't want to embarrass the guy, talk about him, but now you keep adding more layers to this. Paulie?
It wasn't Lee Evans, was it?
I'm not saying because it just does. And by the way, it's better. It's like the whole Franco Harris Immaculate Reception.
Yeah. Well,
it's like it'll make the story go longer.
Not quite the same. not quite.
But it'll make the story go on longer, and you guys will spend more time trying to figure out who it is if I don't tell you who it is.
All right.